Hi guys. Hi guys, this is your streamer Carlos. On today's video, I'm going to give you my rolling review of The Mask of Zorro. The Mask of Zorro. So here we go guys. I love this movie because it's based on a classic 1960 series of the same name, starring Guy Williams as Don Diego de la Vega, whose alter ego is Zorro, the defender of the people of the defender of the people and citizens of the Republic of California. But in this case, besides a series based on Zorro, there was also a short movie made by Disney, which in turn made the series of the same name. But in 1998, we would see the rise of Zorro, or the legend of Zorro, rise again, as Antonio Banderas would be the human awesome vessel of the Mask of Zorro, but with a different name. Alejandro Murrieta, and of course playing old school Zorro, or in this case, the live action movie version of Guy Williams would be played by Anthony Hopkins. Guy Williams' version of Zorro in this live action adaptation of Zorro would be played by Anthony Hopkins as Diego de la Vega. In this adaptation, Diego de la Vega has a bitter rivalry with Don Rafael Montero, who is the governor of the Republic of California back in the day. And by the way, Rafael Montero, the governor, is secretly in love with Diego de la Vega's wife, for some creepy reason, but named Esperanza. So we have a love triangle going on, a twisted love triangle. So Diego de la Vega is obviously the protector of the citizens of the Republic of California, the protector of the citizens of the Republic of California, and of course, Don Rafael is the governor of the evil diplomatic and evil governor of the Republic of California, who's working on behalf of the government of Spain. On behalf of the government of Spain. Although Although in the original series, starring Guy Williams of Zorro, in the first episode, he comes back to California from Spain. So it's a switch up. It's a little bit of adding flavor to this awesome movie. So what does Alejandro have to do with Don Diego? Well, back in the day when Don Diego was El Zorro and he was defending and protecting the citizens of the Republic of California, he was a wanted man. Don Rafael wanted his head on a silver platter, like a good piece of brisket. Like a good piece of brisket. So what so what did he do? What was his last? What was the ultimate goal? What was the ultimate goal for Don Rafael? To basically take over California and make California its own country. Its own country. Not a state, not a democratic republic, but a Republic of California controlled by him. And of course, back in the day, in 1821 or 1821, California was controlled by the Mexican government. So Don Rafael wanted to take a piece of General Santana's piece of California pie, and General Santana's big pie was California. So, thanks to his greed and thanks to his utter evilness and evil governmentship, Don Rafael was treating the citizens of the Republic of California very bad. He was leaving the citizens of California hungry, mistreating them, malnourishing them, not giving them fair pay, treating them like they were nothing. So, in comes Don Diego, dressed up as Zorro. So in the beginning of the movie, we see Don Rafael basically in his balcony, ready to see three innocent citizens of the Republic of California to be killed until Zorro comes and saves the day. But before Don Diego dressed up Zorro came to the rescue of these three men and made a total mockery of Don Rafael's forces. we meet Alejandro Murieta and Joaquin Murieta, who are two brothers that are very mischievous, and tragically their mom and dad died because of the tyranny of Don Rafael. So luckily for Joaquin, he was saved by Zorro from being trampled and stuck and trampled in a mosh pit of citizens of California. And one of the trademarks of Zorro was to hide in plain sight by wearing a type of hoodie. And he would always he would do this. He would say to his people that he saved to basically to keep quiet, not to keep quiet. But anyway, Joaquin ran over to Alejandro and told him that he has seen Zorro, and he's about to put a show on. And that's exactly what Zorro did. He was beating the holy Raphael out of Don Raphael's forces, and not surprisingly, Zorro made his trademark sign of Zorro, of his name, on the neck, on the scrawny and evil neck of Don Raphael. And afterwards, after doing this, Zorro gave Alejandro and Joaquin a special gift. To be more specific, Zorro gave Joaquin a medallion necklace for helping him from almost getting crushed by helping him not to get crushed by three soldiers of Don Rafael's army force. And that was the end of that. And so Zorro rode off into the sunset, and on his trusty Ferrari black horse stallion, Ferrari stallion horse, tornado, and that was the end of that. So we thought. So when Diego took off his mask and his Zorro attire, he promised his wife Esperanza that this would be the this would be the last ride of Zorro. Which, by the way, Don Diego Don Diego had a daughter named Elena, a baby daughter named Elena, who's portrayed by Catherine Zeta-Jones. When Elena gets older, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So with everything going right and going perfectly good and happy for Don Diego, he's about to retire. He's about to retire the Mask of Zorro until Don Rafael steps into his home and says to Esperanza, "Sorry, Esperanza, that I have to do this in front of you, but I have to take your husband and take him into custody for being a traitor to his Republic of California, and because he lied to the Republic of California by not disclosing that he is the man they call Zorro. So, in a tragic twist of fate, this guy comes down to a bitter man in Don Rafael, not giving up and not refusing his obsession over Esperanza de la Vega, and not stopping his obsession of basically loving a married woman, Esperanza. So what does he do? He takes Don Diego into custody, but tragically for Don Diego, in a creepy way, also in a creepy sad way for Don Rafael. One of Don Rafael's men shoots Esperanza in the heart and chest area, and she died in Diego's arms, right there and there. And Rafael Montero, or Don Rafael Montero, says to Diego de la Vega that if she had picked me instead of you, she would have been safe. By this time, guys, a candle that wasn't put out had fallen to the ground in the kerfuffle, in the mess of fighting between Rafael Montero and Diego de la Vega, as he was trying to protect his family from the dirty and creepy hands of evilness of Don Rafael. But again, tragically, But again, guys, tragically, Esperanza was shot dead and died in Diego's arms. And to make matters worse, even worse, like a bowl of Halloween un un ho, like a bowl of old Halloween candy. Don Rafael Montero knocked out Diego Diego knocked out Diego as he was about to get his little daughter Elena to safety. So basically what I'm trying to say is that Don Rafael and his forces burned the De La Vega home, or hacienda, which is a fancy Spanish word mostly used in Mexico, meaning mansion. So, as Diego was laying unconscious in a carriage, and after getting himself together and get himself awake, he saw his whole mansion burning down to the ground, and he was shaking out of anger and worried, all at the same time, about one little person, and that of course was little Elena. So, but then he saw Raphael coming out, coming out with little Elena, and Don Rafael Montero said, "I'll take good care of her, and I'll take good care of her. By the way, she has her mother's eyes." And then we see the carriage carrying Don Diego de la Vega off into the distance. But 20 years later, nobody has seen or has heard of the name of Zorro over 20 years. Until one day, hopefully, the citizens of California, of the Republic of California, would get their defender to ride again. And this is where we meet. This is where we catch up 20 years later with Alejandro Murrieta and his brother Joaquin Murrieta, who have been captured by a lawman, or a criminal lawman named Three Finger Jack. So, with that being said, in actuality, Three Finger Jack and Alejandro and Joaquin and Murieta are working together. So they have been riding through you know riding through the beautiful valleys of the Republic of California, claiming first claiming that he has captured the notorious Murieta brothers, and they stop at a kind of a rest stop, a Mexican army rest stop, and the main general of this cluster of the army of the Republic of California, of the Republic of California, says, hand the Murieta brothers to us. They're not your property anymore. And so Three Finger Jack says, I want my 200 undertakers, meaning my $200 for each of them. And Joaquin is gets very mad and says, we're worth more. We are worth more than 200. We are worth more than 200 undertakers or 200 pesos. Me and my brother. And basically the head of this cluster of the army of the Republic of California points a gun to Alejandro's head, and that turns Joaquin into the Incredible Hulk, and basically he basically says, don't you ever point a gun ever again at my brother. If you do that again, I'll blow your pants off. So then we get to see the true colors of Three Finger Jack and the Murieta brothers, and they work together, and they basically capture some food from these soldiers, and are basically hugged by the proprietor of this rest stop with food. So Three Finger Jack and the Murieta brothers are on their merry way until shortly after leaving this rest stop, they're stopped by a row of soldiers of the Republic of California, and an evil version of an evil fancy and elegant version of Guy Fieri. If my food guru from Triple D was a bad guy and didn't have spiky hair, which I love, guy spiky hair. So named Captain Love. So Captain Love, and this row of soldiers of the Republic of California shoot at Three Finger Jack, which Three Finger Jack gets shot as he's jumping out of the carriage by Captain Love, or Captain Mayor of Flavortown, Mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri, and of course, and tragically, as Joaquin and Alejandro are trying to escape, Joaquin gets shot in the back or rib area. So then Alejandro is like, come on, let's go. And then Joaquin does something unexpected. He punches Alejandro in the face and says, "Go, just go." So Captain Anti Guy Fieri, anti Mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri basically captures Joaquin, and then Joaquin in a defining moment of defiance, he spits in anti-Guy Fieri's face, and he sacrifices him. He sacrifices himself, and he shoots himself. But that wasn't bad enough. Anti-Guy Fieri, anti-Mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri got off his horse and basically cut Joaquin's head off. Now, before I continue, guys, sorry that I didn't mention this before, but if you guys have any small dudes, or little dudettes, or little nieces dudettes, or little nephews dudettes, viewer discretion is advised. Seeing his brother hiding behind a bush type cactus thing, Alejandro sees his beloved brother Joaquin get murdered by anti-Mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri, Captain Love, and he basically he wants revenge. And to make matters worse, Anti-Guy Fieri says to his soldiers to throw Joaquin's body, but to bury Joaquin's body / throw Joaquin's body, who knows where, but keep the head, keep the head, keep the head, and to top this evil Sunday of evilness by anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Love. He takes Joaquin's medallion that Zorro 10 years 20 years before 20 years before this current time had given to him the day that him, Joaquin, and Alejandro helped Zorro. So after seeing his brother getting killed, Alejandro's obviously distraught with good reason. Good reason to be sad. And Alejandro discovers that at least anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Love didn't take Joaquin's medallion off of him. But of course Alejandro wants revenge. Meanwhile in a prison in a high guarded prison of the Republic of California, a strange figure comes up to the shore of California, and it's none other than Don Rafael Montero. Yes, guys, that same Don Rafael, that creepy governor of California who was in love with Esperanza de la Vega, and he has returned like a very bad and untasty hot sauce. And so he has her. And why did he come back? Because he wants to rebuild California and make it a better place, according to him. But he has heard rumors throughout these 20 years that there might be that Zorro might be alive. So Don Rafael escort slash right hand dude, anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Dope, Captain Love, Captain Fancy Pants, Captain Love, No Love, Fancy Pants. Captain Love is basically his right hand man, and takes him to this prison where where this commander this commander of the soldiers that are guarding the prison and the prisoners has no idea that Don Raphael, that the mighty and evil and creepy old man Don Raphael has returned, and he wants a row of all the prisoners to line up to see or to interrogate them, to see who is the real Zorro, who claims to be the returning Zorro. But one of these prisoners in this lineup of prisoners has a very familiar, awesome smell of an old friend, and that of course is the original, the OG Zorro, Diego de la Vega. But this time, Don Diego de la Vega is old, with long hair, beard, with a scruffy, tough guy beard, and with a cloth with a tight cloth covering his face, but he can see a little bit with his eyes through the cloth. So Don Diego plans to escape. Meanwhile, before that, several prisoners of this same row of prisoners of the prison claim to be Zorro, and they swarm old man Don Raphael, and basically swarm. So, and I think, and it's not clear in the movie, and it's not clear in this scene, but in my profession, here's my guess. Here's my guess. In Diego de la Vega planned this swarm of all the prisoners to swarm his bitter enemy and creepy wife wanter, so he would get out. But before he could get out, he needed to find a way out. But before he could get out, Don Diego de la Vega needed to find a way out. So here's how. So one of the prisoners claiming to be one of the prisoners that created this mess of a swarm onto old man and old creepy wife wanter Don Raphael was brutally handled by one of the soldier guards of the prison, and he got pushed into his cells so roughly, so badly that he basically hit his forehead with such force that he died. So Diego de la Vega saw this Diego de la Vega saw this as an opportunity to escape. So he basically took this prisoner's clothes off of him, and he put his attire on himself, and he pretended to be dead. So the guards could take him out and bury him. And before this plan came into motion, Don Diego de la Vega choked, just basically choked out this guard who had the key, and besides choking him out, Don Diego broke his neck. So, with him already buried outside and technically freed, he was like, yes, I'm free now. I can go after Raphael myself. And ironically enough, the next day, Don Raphael Montero was officially landing, or officially coming to the shore of the Republic of California again. But this time he wasn't coming alone. He had come with his daughter Elena Montero. And by this time, Diego de la Vega was prepared to basically get his revenge and just basically kill Rafael Montero for all the pain that he caused him. But when he saw Elena Montero, he was like, Don Diego stopped himself. Meanwhile, somewhere outside the plaza of California or LA or Los Angeles, we see a very, very super drunk Alejandro, who's just basically drank his sadness, but not his full anger away. Then we see Diego de la Vega appears. Then Guy Fieri, evil guy, unnerved Flavortown Guy Fieri, Captain Love, appears and Alejandro goes goes completely cuckoo and tells Diego de la Vega, Diego de la Vega, no, Diego de la Vega. That's the dude. That's the anti-guy Fieri, the anti-guy Fieri dude that killed my brother. Then Diego then Diego de la Vega notices Joaquin, the medallion that he had given Joaquin Murieta 20 years before, and Don Diego de la Vega asks, tells Alejandro Murieta, or Alejandro, if you want to get even / revenge on the man that killed your brother, first you need to stop drinking yourself, drinking your sorrows away. I can help you. Fight the fair fight. I can help you get your revenge. Get your revenge on the man that killed your brother. The right way, the just way, the right and fair way. Oh, and by the way, 20 years ago, I gave that same medallion that you have on your neck, that you have hanging on your neck, to a boy that was 18 or 20, for good luck, and his brother for good luck, Then Alejandro was like, Zorro? And eventually, Alejandro is taken by Zorro himself, Diego de la Vega, to his Zorro cave. And Alejandro was like, how I thought you were a fried fish, meaning dead. And Don Diego de la Vega is like, yes, I'm supposed to be dead, but I guess not. So Don Diego starts training Alejandro to be the new face, the new face of justice for the people of California, of Zorro. But this training would have to take a long time. Now fast forwarding a little bit, going fast forward mode. Don Rafael has invited all the dons of California to his hacienda for a party where Don Diego de la Vega says to Alejandro, you need to go. You need to go to that party to get into Raphael's inner circle and see what he's planning this time for California. And Alejandro said, how? And Don Diego de la Vega is like, with charm, you're going to get into Raphael's inner circle, and find out what his plan is for California by winning his trust and his greed by being charming to him. And Alejandro's like, again, how? So eventually, so a few days later, after getting coached by Don Diego de la Vega, Alejandro is all charmed up, dressed to the nines to the 10th power, and all charmed up, all cleaned up, and all donned up. And you may ask, what about Don Diego? Well, Don Diego disguises himself, or pretends to be Alejandro's carrier slash master and Don Diego has come up with a name for himself. Bernardo, which in fact is the actual name of Guy Williams' Don Diego de la Vega's actual right hand man in the original Disney series of the 1960s. Anyway. So Alejandro, disguised as this Don of Spain, gets into Don Rafael's inner circle, and this is where he once again sees Elena, which previously he saw Elena while wearing his first mask of Zorro. And of course, Elena was captivated by this unknown man named Zorro. So so this time was no different. Again, Elena was captivated by Alejandro, or the Alejandro as this Don of Spain, but with a little bit of of funny. I hate you. I hate you. I despise you. I despise you kind of banter. So Elena gets under the skin of Alejandro by accepting invitation by anti Guy Fieri, Captain Love, to dance, and that of course makes Alejandro go into a jealous jealous Don España hot pepper mode of jealousy over Elena. But thankfully, but thankfully, Alejandro was clever to interrupt Elena's dance with anti Guy Fieri, Captain Love's dancing, and Alejandro as this Don of Spain was able to basically suck Elena into a trap, into a funny dancing banting trap, and he was able to convince Elena to dance with him a tango, which guys, it was a very spicy and very seductive rendition of a Spanish tango from Spain. By the end of this intense and passionate dance, passionate tango, Elena is basically blushing. Her heart is jumping for joy, and her hair is all messed up in a good kind messy way. And to make matters even better for Alejandro, Don Rafael is not too pleased with him for having this passionate rendition of tango with Elena. And anti-Captain Guy Fieri is not happy as well. Eventually, Captain anti-Guy Fieri uncovers that this Don of this new arriving Don of Spain is actually Alejandro Murrieta, aka Zorro. to make matters worse for Alejandro, Anti-Guy Fieri invites him to his office. Where Anti-Guy Fieri pulls out 2 jars with tequila, which have two big mason jars filled with tequila, which have Joaquin's head in one of them, and inside of this giant mason jar, inside of mason jar number 2 has Joaquin's hand. And of course, secretly, Alejandro is very, very mad, and also afraid, also fearing the worst, that now that Captain and Anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Love knows my secret. He will rat me out, and I'll be just destroyed by him and Mr. Creepy himself, Don Raphael. But thankfully, Don Diego had a plan to Don Diego de la Vega had a plan, and basically he told Alejandro to go into Don Rafael's hacienda and steal a map that lays out Don Rafael's plan for his vision of California. And in fact, Don Rafael's vision of California is basically to build a mine, and steal and keep the gold keep General Santa Anna's gold that he promised not to steal, which in fact he stole. By this time, Diego de la Vega had enough. Was tired of keeping himself in the shadows, and he decided to stop hiding and basically uncover himself and basically show himself and say to Don Rafael, 20 years ago, I told you that you would be stuck to me, that it would be stuck in your head, that you wouldn't get rid of me. I would be stuck to you like a piece of gum, and you wouldn't get rid of me. And Don Diego de la Vega said to Don Rafael, or to Rafael, call for Elena. She needs to hear the truth. So Elena comes to her father's aid by the hand of by the hand by the thanks of anti Guy Fieri, Guy Fieri, Captain Love, and that's when Don Diego, that's when Diego de la Vega is like to Rafael, tell her the truth, tell her how her mother Esperanza died, and of course Rafael is like, your name doesn't matter anymore. Your name doesn't matter. Your name doesn't matter anymore. It's just a peasant's name. And that's when Diego de la Vega says to Elena, your mother always used to put your favorite flower. I can't pronounce the flower's name. Is that the type of flower name? But it's only grown. You only get it in California, and it's a beautiful white flower. So after hearing this confession from Don Diego de la Vega, Elena realizes that 2 days before, as she was walking through the market of walking through one of the markets of California, a lady with her daughter, claiming to be her niñera, which means in Spanish babysitter, said in her native tongue that I know you're Elena de la Vega, you're Don Diego de la Vega's daughter, and I give to you this cloth that once belonged to your mother. But Elena refused this lady's gift to her. But eventually Elena uncovered that Diego de la Vega is actually her father, and this put Don Rafael in an awkward spot. So after getting detained by the guards of Rafael, Diego was thrown into jail. But luckily it didn't. But luckily that vacation in jail didn't last long, because Elena got into the jail and basically knocked out the guard. The guard shot the guard that was guarding Diego's jail cell to death. And to put it toward guys, that was it. It was a happy moment for finally after all the pain that he had gone through. It was a happy moment. It was Diego de la Vega's WrestleMania moment for Diego de la Vega and Elena. So, meanwhile, Zorro needed to get the poor citizens or the poor workers of this mine, of Don Rafael's mine, out of the mine before Don Rafael and Anti-Guy Fieri blow it up, so they could cover their tracks from General Santa Anna's fury. But thankfully, Alejandro was able to get his revenge and basically stick his sword like a piece of good chewing gum into the chest of Anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Love, and to top it off, Don Diego de la Vega was able to get his revenge on Rafael in a very, very satisfying way, because unbeknownst to him, unbeknownst to Rafael, he was attached to a mine car. That mine car that the path of this mine car was very short and sweet. The mine car was headed towards an embankment, or towards a ravine, towards an embankment towards a small embankment of the mine, which in turn, underneath this mine car that had Don Rafael attached to it, had Anti-Guy Fieri, Captain Love basically on his knees with Zorro's sword skewed onto his chest. And when the mine car took off, was set off by Diego de la Vega, the mine car landed on Anti-Guy Fieri's body, and Don Rafael died too, because it was a steep fall, a very deep fall. were able to save the mine workers from from the mine before it exploded. But tragically, Don Diego didn't get his happy ending. He tragically passed away. But he took solace in awesome comfort by hearing the words out of his daughter's mouth. You will never lose me, Father. And then Don Diego de la Vega died. But all this time, Alejandro was recounting his first mask ride to his son, to his little baby boy named Joaquin. And Elena appeared. And of course they started bickering lovingly, and Alejandro gave a very passionate kiss to his wife, to his now wife, Elena de la Vega, and that's how this wonderful, awesome movie of The Mask of Zorro ends. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you want to. Have you seen The Mask of Zorro? And what part of The Mask of Zorro did you like when you watched it? So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like, and ole. Bye. Gracias. Adiós.